find an old property, knock the house down, subdivide it, build 2 houses, sell those 2 houses. They call this something what? Flipping houses? Is it as easy as people make it sound?
It is the steps you've just said, but it's not that easy.
What are some of the things that I should keep in mind if I'm buying my first house?
I think have a good suburb. Want to make sure you don't overpay. People come to me and say, how can I get rich quick? And that doesn't work. There is no getting rich quick.
You're somebody who's, let's say, 30, want to buy their first house, but not sure whether they should buy a house that they can live in or they should buy a house as an investment property. What would be your advice?
Well, I think
coming to Australia when you're 17 and then building your journey in few years being the best developer in Adelaide. That's not an easy journey, and today we have Gary Patel with us. Originally from Ahmedabad, came to Australia he was 17 and now just killing with every single dream he had for himself and with a lot of other people's dream because they help people get their dream home into reality. So Gary, thanks for doing this. This is very, very exciting. I have so many questions regarding property, so many basic questions which I'm sure our viewers would have as well. But thanks for doing this.
no, thank you for having me on the show.
Awesome. I want to dive right into it, but also set some context for all the viewers. So why don't you very briefly give a little bit of background of when you came to Australia, what was it like and what you're doing now?
Yes. So I got here in 2005.
Yeah.
I was 17.
Yeah.
Did my year 12 in Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
Came here to do bachelor's with my brother. I have to thank my parents for trusting me and my brother to go to a whole new country.
Yeah.
So really, came here to study. Not a real studious type of a guy. So I came to do my bachelor's of accounting, and then I changed degrees to hospitality management. Finished that, back then it was different. Australia was very different. There was migrants from all different countries. Indian migrants were one of many other countries, people coming in, and we just used to study, do lots of extracurricular activities.
That's another way to say partying.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
I did all the odd jobs.
Yeah.
An initial, migrant did in 2005.
Yeah.
So I was knocking on doors, selling gas and electricity accounts. And then I drove taxis, and then went back doing door knocking. So that was sort of, what everyone used to do.
Yeah.
And I kept doing the door knocking job till I started my first business because it was really good income for the amount of hours you put in because you just had to be good at selling.
Yeah.
If you could sell, the money was there.
Yeah, no, I love this. This is very recently, like when I say recently, only in last 2 years I've realized that selling is a life skill that nobody really properly teaches you how to sell.
That's right.
And I think if you were just taught that and if we learned how to sell well, life would be very different because we are selling ourselves like on a very
100%.
regular basis, right?
Yes.
Whether it's job, for interview, whether it's a business, whether it's a product. But you mentioned before you started your first business. When did you start your first business?
At a very young age.
Yeah.
I was 22.
Oh wow.
I think when I started the first business. Yeah.
Okay. Do you come from business background? Is that what helped start a first business?
No, at my family, like my dad, he always worked as an engineer. My uncle had a small business, which is now a bit bigger than small.
Yes.
With dad and my brother, it was never sort of business. It was all, my dad wanted me to become an engineer because he was an engineer.
Yeah.
And so my brother's an engineer, and so I was sort of, told that you have to be an engineer.
Is that what you studied in Australia?
No.
What did you study?
Well, sorry, my brother studied engineering.
Yeah.
So he did bachelor's in India and then he did master's here.
Okay.
So he's just
An engineer.
an IT,
Yeah.
computer science degrees is what he did.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
what did you study?
Came to do accounting and then
Okay.
did hospitality management.
So you did your bachelor's in hospitality,
Yeah.
which I don't think is anywhere related to what you're doing now, which is into
No.
property development, building houses,
Yeah.
finance. That has nothing to do with hospitality.
Nothing. It was just a step I had to take
Yeah.
at that time
Yeah.
to get my PR, because that was the only thing I was thinking is,
Right.
how do I get that? And yeah, so hospitality management was the way to go for me back then.
Okay, and you being 22, starting a business, clearly, as you mentioned, not having a business background. What was that business? And also, why not just get a job that would pay well? Because in Australia, jobs don't pay. It's not like India.
Yeah.
So why not just get a job? Why did you start a business?
Well, it organically happened. So I was working for a solar panel company, which was a national business, and I was working as a sales person there. And for my age at that time, I was making pretty decent salary.
Yeah.
So my current business partner came to me back then and said, "Hey, let's start a solar panel company.
Yeah.
Because you work in one, and then, I'll just learn from you and we'll start the business." And I said, "No, thank you, because I'm making so much money.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave because I've got the job security and that, like what everyone thinks." And anyway, I started thinking, and then I started doing some numbers, spreadsheets, and I was like, "Oh, this could be lucrative business." And so, started thinking about it more, and then called my friend and said, "Listen, that offer of starting the solar panel business, is that still there?" And he's like, "I've been waiting for your call. Let's do this." So that's how we started.
When you say solar panel business, I can't envision what that business or what was the business.
So business was literally what people do now in India, but also here is every house has got a roof. In India, a lot of houses have got terraces and that, but everyone's putting solar panels on it. So then you generate the power, you use it in the house, and that reduces your electricity bill, and you are contributing to a bit of green environment, which is what we all
And getting
need.
cheaper electricity, I suppose.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
You get,
Awesome.
free power.
How did that turn into a property business?
That's a very good question. So solar panel was just, a step in the right direction for us. We grew that business very quickly. We were the third largest in the state with the amount of panels we were installing. In busy times, we got to about 30, 35 installs a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there was a reasonable sized business, but I always wanted to go into property.
Yeah.
That was sort of my, vision. And so when I got some free time from the solar panel business, because that business was all about, government rebates. So if the rebates sort of were taken away, then the business will slow down, and then something else will come up, and the business will get busier. So when I got some free time, I got into looking up property and going to auctions and learning and start talking to people, and I was following a lot of people in terms of, they'll buy a site, and so I'd know what they paid for it, and then I'll literally just follow them on what they did when they hit the market. Did they build some houses on it, or did they sell the land? And really I was doing feasibilities on their projects behind the scene to understand how much money are they making.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Did you buy the first property that you ever bought? Was it for yourself to live in, or was it for the business?
No, it was a development property we bought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm a big believer, if you are going to do a business, you should start a business first, then buy a home to live in. Because if you buy a home to live in, then all the capital you have will get put towards the house. While if you start a business first, and if the business is successful, the business makes money, then you can go and buy the house. because a house doesn't make any money as such.
Fair.
Yeah, like-
Especially if you live in, it doesn't. Yeah.
You're going to get the capital growth and that,
Yeah.
but the house is never going. If you are in a successful business, in my view, you'll make more money from
Yeah.
a business than a house. So my advice always is, do a business if you want to get into business,
Yeah.
and then use the profits from the business
To
to
buy your
go
first
and
house.
buy the house.
And that's what you did. You bought the first house, and you knew that you wanted to become a developer and not a builder. Is that right?
Well, this was So first, I was just going to be a developer,
Mm-hmm.
and so this was an auction at a suburb close to the city, nice
Yeah.
big parcel, and there was about 120 people at this auction.
Oh wow. Okay.
It was busy. It was a beautiful parcel, and so the auction went crazy.
Can you, because again, we have viewers who are in India as well, and auction is an Australian thing.
Yes.
Could be in other countries, but when I talk about India and Australia, I have never seen an auction in India.
Yeah.
So can you explain what an auction is? Like, paint a picture for us.
Yeah.
You know, how old are you then? You're like, I want to get into property. You know, might not have as much money, you know, compared to now. And what was it like?
Auction is. I'm trying to think of the
Yeah.
Hindi word for auction.
Oh. Nilami is the Hindi
Nilami,
word.
that's the one,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's literally in Australia for the viewers in India. It is when the real estate agents, the brokers,
Yeah.
have 3 or 4 opens, and then they have a certain time when everyone rocks up.
Yeah.
You do the registration where you're going to pay 10% deposit, 30 days or 60 days settlement, which is you say you're going to buy this property, you commit to buy that property, you pay the deposit, and that 30 or 60 or 90 days settlement is when you have to pay the money.
Got it.
So that's the settlement period. So that's
Got
when
it.
you go to the bank with the paperwork, get all the
Nice.
funding, get all the bank accounts set
Yeah.
up, and then the money and the ownership transaction happens on that day,
Got it.
the settlement day.
Yeah.
So auction people do because they want to create that competition. They want, if people are really into it and they really want that property, they will pay that $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on this particular property I bought, the auction stopped at a certain amount. I think it was $620,000 or something like that. Don't quote me on the exact number. And that's where it was an okay deal.
Okay.
Anything more than that, you were going to not make the profits you should be making on taking the risk you're taking. Because any business, you are taking some risks.
Yeah.
That's the reason you're making the profit, is to compensate you for the risk you took. On this one, there was only one more person who was competing with me, and we were on $1,000 bids
Yeah.
for $60,000.
No way.
One after the other.
That
after
is
the
so
other.
funny.
And the person who I was competing with, a very wealthy individual who's a very close friend of mine now.
Okay.
But he's a developer, he's a builder, he owns a lot of other businesses within his portfolio. And it just got to a point where he said, guess what, let him have it, because I can't pay any more, as in, the profits are not going to be great on this project. So I won. And I remember when I went inside to sign the paperwork with the brokers, they said, do you know who you were competing with? And I'm like, no. And they're like, that was XYZ, and he owns blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow. Have I made a mistake here? Have I overpaid? That's all was going through my mind that weekend. Is I was like, I might have made a massive mistake here.
Yeah. And this is Gary in his late 20s.
Yeah, it will be mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure those 100 people would have seen a 20-something-year-old Indian kid bidding for a property. I don't think that's a very common sight.
No, it's not. And the good thing was I was going to pretty much every auction.
Okay.
So all the developers who also went to all the other auctions. Because there's two types of properties out there. There is properties which are suitable for developments, and then there is properties which are nice built houses. So developers don't go to those because we can't do anything with it. So they're there for people to buy and move in with their families and enjoy the house. So you would not see a lot of developers on those houses because there is no value add we can do.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, it will be a different scene for people, but they did know my face because they would see me every weekend.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Just on that note, because I have had this confusion for the longest, what is the difference between a developer and a builder? Because where I come from in India, it's only builders, right? Builders
Okay.
buy the property, that's if the land, and then if they're building an apartment, they would build it, and then their company would sell it.
Okay.
So,
Yes,
what is the
yes.
difference between developers and builders?
There is, in India, all the builders put the schemes up. So when I was even growing up, I remember
Yeah.
all the builders are buying sites and then they do the whole end-to-end development and then people buy the finished house. In Australia, there is a lot of people who are just developers. So they don't have anything to do with a building business or company. They know what building is, but they don't have the licenses to build. So they'll go buy the site, they'll do the development, say 3 houses, 5 houses on, a site where they're going to demolish the old house, and then they'll go and engage a builder.
Okay.
And then the builder will give them a contract, they'll sign that, and then the builder will perform all the building works. Because the regulations are so tight, no one can just go and build. And if you go and build yourself without licenses, it'll be hard for you to get the money from the banks too.
Got it.
Loan to build the houses. So
Okay.
developer in Australia is really the person who's buying the land, who's got the vision, who then goes out, gets the approvals, then engages the builder to build
Got it.
residential, commercial, industrial,
Understood.
whichever way. There's different builders for different types of property, and then the builder comes and builds the stuff
Okay.
for the developer.
So, hypothetically,
Yeah.
I want to be a developer. What should be my next step? Because this is what I keep hearing from friends of mine. It's like, find an old property,
Yeah.
knock the house down, subdivide it, build 2 houses, sell those 2 houses, and people just say these things. I've never gotten an opportunity to ask someone who has been in the field for such a long time. And they call this something, what, flipping houses? Is that right? Is this what flipping houses is? So, is flipping houses good? And is it as easy as people make it sound?
It is, the steps you've just said are the steps, but it's not that easy. And the issue you have is if you go out and, let's say, buy a big block and knock the house down, but if you overpay for that block,
Yeah.
then you're not going to make any money, or you're going to make less money. If you don't do your due diligence on the block, e.g., what is council requirements, what do you have, water, sewer, all the services outside. We have so many people who come to us and, I bought this site, can we build 3 houses on it? And we have a look at it and we go, but you have no connection outside, so we need to get extensions done, and that's going to cost you 50 grand, 60 grand, whatever the case may be, call it.
Yeah.
And that comes off the bottom line. Then there is taxes. There's certain type of taxes which are in the development space, which newcomers don't know. And so if you don't account for those taxes and you do the development, and then you find out that ATO sends you a bill, that's not going to be great for the project, is it?
Yeah.
So it's a great industry. You just need to do your due diligence. You need to partner up with the right people, and it's a great space to make money and have a lot of fun.
Okay. Another basic question. If you were at MySpace, right? Like, you're somebody who's, let's say, 30, want to buy their first house, but not sure whether they should buy a house that they can live in or they should buy a house as an investment property. What would be your advice?
Um, well, I think the Australian dream is you need to own a house.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And so, depending on how much money you've got saved, depending on what your working arrangement is, because some people are working from home, some people are working from the
Yeah.
city and whatnot, I think you need to go out and buy a house, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
To live in?
To live in, yeah. Just
Let's say just for the hypothetical thing, I have 600,000 or I have capacity
Yeah.
to buy a property around $700,000.
Yeah.
What are the pros and cons of buying an investment property versus buying a house to live in?
I think the first step has to be to buy a house to live in.
Okay.
And then the gradual progression will be that you live in that house, you've now got more money saved, and so then you go and find the next house you either want to live in or an investment property. A lot of people will just go and buy a little bit bigger house because their family's growing, and
Yeah.
maybe kids and that, and then they'll rent the first house.
Got it.
Okay, some people go buy that old block, 800 square meters, after they've bought the first house, and they knock it down and they build two houses, and they build one for themselves
Yeah.
to live in,
Yeah.
and then they build another one to sell.
Okay.
And there is some great tax benefits if you do something like that, development, and then you go and live in that house for 12 months or more, then you do get some tax concessions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Another question, and these are just the questions that I have. Probably I'm just asking for myself more than anything. I have always been confused. Should I buy, let's say again, same thing, right? $700,000, $800,000. And if we talk about Adelaide, I could get a house in like first suburbs, like a smaller house or townhouse in Norwood or Unley or Mile End.
Yeah.
These are just the suburbs around Adelaide.
Yeah.
Or the other option is I go to something like Monopara, which is like 40 minutes from the city,
Yeah.
and then buy much bigger house there.
Yeah.
If you were in my situation, what would you choose, and why?
Oh, I would choose something close to the city,
Okay.
but that's not the thing for everyone. The only reason I would do that is because my work is close to the city. So, I sometimes have meeting in the city.
Yeah.
So it works for me.
Okay.
But if someone wanted bigger parcel of land and they
Yeah.
didn't work in the city and they could do their works, if they worked in the mines, call it, and
Yeah.
their wife was just a housewife.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong living in the northern or the southern suburbs, or even Mount Barker.
Yeah.
We have a few friends who live in Mount Barker. It's
Okay.
just different lifestyle.
Yeah. It's a very different
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Very different.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I've always lived very close to the city,
And that's the thing, yeah.
yeah, and I enjoy that
Yeah.
kind of lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. If you had to bank on few suburbs around Adelaide, which is like, well, these suburbs are growing, watch out.
Yeah.
Can you name 5 suburbs and why? Also explain why.
That's a tricky question. 5 suburbs. Okay. So I think around Modbury
Okay.
is a good pocket,
Yeah.
because you've got, good shops, good schools, still not too expensive,
Okay.
and you could buy a house to live in or do something development-wise,
Yeah.
I would say up north,
Mm-hmm.
Anglevale, Manapara, they've got a lot of houses coming up because there's so much land rezoned. We've got some services issues there, which the government has dealt with, and that's all going to open up, and that's just going to mean that there's going to be even more developments there. South is also good.
Yeah.
So around Aldinga, there's a bit of land which is going to come up. South is more tightly held, I think, for land supply than north. So, Aldinga,
Yeah.
Sellex Beach.
It's
I
beautiful,
think
like those suburbs.
it is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the distance. You need to be ready to travel the distance to the city.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like? Don't you think if somebody lives in Munapara and somebody lives in Aldinga, it's similar distance from the
Yes.
city?
Yes. But people who live up north
Yeah.
won't go down south, and people who live down south won't go to north. There's
Yeah.
always, every area has got their clientele.
Right.
So in Adelaide,
Yeah.
people who live in the west don't really want to come to the east. People who live in the east
Interesting.
don't want to go to the west.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And just again on that note, what are some of the things that I should keep in mind if I'm buying my first house?
I think you really want to, have a good suburb.
Yeah.
Want to make sure you don't overpay,
Okay.
because if you, overpay, it might be hard for you to recoup. It will take you a few years to recoup what you've
Yeah.
paid.
How do I know whether I'm overpaying or not?
Do market research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just houses, the prices of houses around
Yeah.
where I want to buy.
See what's
Okay.
been recently sold.
Yeah.
See what the market trends are.
Got it.
And you might have to pay a little bit more. I'm talking like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. That's okay. If you love something,
Yeah.
you've got to live in it.
Yeah.
You got to make that, but don't go and overpay by 50,000, 100,000.
Yeah.
I think that could hurt a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
So again, coming back to what are some of the things that I should keep in mind if I'm buying my first house?
yeah. Good area,
Mm-hmm.
good schools. If you've got growing family, shopping, sort of. You want some shopping centre close by for convenience, and then the right price. I think
Yeah.
that's really the key points.
Yeah. Because somebody who's not from the field,
Yeah.
and I want to get a good deal on the house.
Yeah.
Do you have tips on, because the question comes from, there is somebody called buyer's agent, right? And the real estate agent, what I understand is that they work for the buyer and they help them get the best price.
Yes.
Second option is I reach out to you, your builder side of firm,
Yeah.
and ask them that, hey, can you help me build a house? And probably might be cheaper than pre-existing, pre-built house.
100%. Yeah.
What should one do in an ideal case scenario?
It depends. So we do a lot of developments close to the city, and we sell to a lot of first home buyers who are in the market to buy the land, do the build for them. So if people want a new house, then there is a fair few opportunities out there with developers developing stuff. Or if you want something existing where you don't want to wait, because building a new house, it takes time.
Yeah.
So it could be anywhere from 6 to 18, 24 months.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because if you're buying a big development and the roads aren't even put in, then you've got to wait for the developers to first go put the roads in.
Yeah.
Then the builders can go build the houses.
Got it.
But a lot of people buy existing houses, or a lot of people buy finished developments, which we also have sometimes, where we finish the development, then we put furniture into the houses, and then we go, okay, this is ready for someone to buy. And that means they can move in 30 days, 60 days, whatever their bank finance requirements are.
Yeah.
They don't have to wait.
Yeah.
But that will always cost you a bit more.
Yeah.
So if you go and buy the land and then do the build, it will work out cheaper for you.
Okay. And one of very important things that you touched on was just getting loans.
Yeah.
Especially as NRI or migrants, new in the country, let's say like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, that's when people start thinking of buying their first house, right? They get their PR and then it's like, oh, I've got a stable job, let's say, I want to buy my first house. Yeah. Getting a loan is not the easiest thing.
For first home buyers, should be okay if they've got good jobs.
Yeah.
And they've got some money saved up.
Yeah.
I think all the big banks are, looking for that clientele.
How much money do you think somebody should save, let's say, buying their first house?
Yeah. So ideally 20% is what you want to have saved up. plus stamp duty, if stamp duty is applicable, which currently stamp duty is not applicable because government have put in, you know, a lot of new incentives for first home buyers. And if you were short on that 20%, then you could have less, call it 5-10%, but then the banks in Australia have got an LMI, which is a lender's mortgage insurance, which you have to buy on top of your loan, which costs you a bit of money, but then you can go with a lesser deposit. So a lot of people who have got lesser deposit do go for that product, LMI, or you save up a bit more and wait for a bit longer and then get your 20% and then go and buy.
Okay. Do I need more money if I want to go to a builder and ask them to buy? Or can I get a loan for that as well?
What do you mean?
So what I want to get to is that what is the best deal that I can get to buy a house, right? That's what I want to get to. One thing is that we buy an existing house, did the research, either 20% or with LMI, lesser deposit, go and buy a house. If I want even cheaper house, so I go and do a builder. But does that mean I need a lot more deposit?
No, the deposit requirements will still be the same.
Okay.
It will be more that you will want to buy that package or you want to design the house with a builder exactly how you want. You know, so now people want a home office. You know, our community people want a prayer room. You know, so if you buy an existing house, in a normal Australian house, there is no prayer room. So you design the house to suit your needs, then you go build a new one. You get it exactly how you want it.
Do you think that it'll still be cheaper?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, if you
Because
go
I'm getting it
through
built.
that process, it is a bit cheaper, but it takes a bit longer. So a lot of people do that because they want to save money. They want the floor plan to be exactly how it works for their family. And they want a brand new house, so they get it all.
Okay. Awesome. I want to get to and also the questions of your business side, right? So obviously you're into property now. You have a developing company, you have a building company, and also you're into finance. I have a question for myself and obviously people who want to build their own business. What are some of the things that they should keep in mind if they want to start their own business?
So key thing will be try and have a strategy in mind of, you know, what your business consists of, who's your customer, do a SWOT analysis on it to try and understand, you know, if there is any threats or weaknesses to make sure you can be across it, because what you don't want is to start a business and then you fail. And I think save as much money as you can, because, you know, you need that money for the rainy day. You always want to have a bit of room. You don't want to be stretched to the last degree and then you go, oh, I've got no money now. Because things happen in life, you know. Business, you start new business and something goes wrong. And so you just want to have that wiggle room.
Okay. Have you seen any qualities which makes a good business person?
I think you need to be able to sell, because any business you start, you'll have to either sell your services or products or, you know, staff. You need to hire them, and you want that connection to be built. So I think that goes a long way. I think you know that will be key.
If you understand your business and you know how to sell.
I think so. I think you need to be, you know, there to sell.
No, I agree. I think we covered this in the very start of our podcast, but selling is something which I'm learning every single day. I'm just learning how to be better at it. And I think it's definitely a life skill.
100%. And the other thing I'd like to say, I was talking to this other young Indian man the other day, and he started his business recently, And he goes, I don't understand why I have to work so hard. I have no time. I have no work-life balance. How did you do it?
Yeah.
And I was like, just relax. You new into the business. You just 12 months or less. You have to put in long time. You have to put in the hours to be successful. You know, when I started, I was working day and night, and it's just what you do when you start a business, you know. But sometimes people want to go, oh, I've started a business, so I don't need to work hard.
Yeah.
I don't think that goes hand in hand. Like till date, I work 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So Saturday is a working day for me, and I just love doing it. My wife, she's very supportive of it.
It's a very fortunate thing.
Very fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on work-life balance?
You need to 100% have that, but you also need to work out what stage of life you are at. You know, if you're young and you don't have any kids, and you want to go get a job, fine. Then you will have your work-life balance because you get your weekends, you get your evenings.
We are coming towards the end of the podcast.
Okay.
I want to know some stories. Do you have any? It could be mistakes. It could be funny story of people who have bought the house and regretted, or just came up with you with funny questions. Anything like that?
One I really like is when people come to me and say, you know, how can I get rich quick? And that doesn't work. You know, there is no getting rich quick in my view. It's really, you need to work hard,
Yeah.
and you need to have a bit of luck on your side,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, see what life gives you, and you know, takes you.
I was really hoping you would say that you can just flip houses and get rich.
You could try,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you'll be successful every single time.
Fair enough.
It is a tricky game, and you
Yeah.
need to really understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, on that, we support a lot of developers in my finance business,
Okay.
and so you know that's where they go out and buy sites.
Yeah.
And yeah, when they're looking for funding,
Yeah.
when they can't get it from the banks, they come to us,
It's
and
very interesting.
yeah, we try and see if we can help them out.
What is your advice for people who want to either get into the field of property, or just people like me just looking to buy a property, not necessarily build a career there?
Start slow. I think we touch base on doing your due diligence properly. That's the key. Learn your competition, learn the market, and then, yep, see if you can make some money flipping houses. You know.
That's it. That's what the next step should be.
Yep.
And for newly arrived migrants,
Yes.
you are living the dream life, right? Building a business, you know, being in a position to employ people. You know, obviously building your own houses, but helping people with their own houses. A lot of people would aspire to have a dream of you have, and then there are different. It looks different for different people. What would be your advice for them that if they want to reach your stage, what should they do right?
I would say pick a line you like, you know, whatever that may be. And I am a big believer that you should do what you love. If you love making toys, call it, all right, and you do that well, and then you create that into a business, I'm sure you'll be very successful because you love, you put so much energy into making sure the product is good. And if that product is good, you'll be able to go and sell it to the world.
Because you love it.
So for migrants, I think the key is, you know, learn the Australian way of life. I think that's where a lot of people miss. They still keep doing things the same way. Well, you know, Australia's a little bit different. You know, you've got to adapt. So learn the Australian way. Work out, you know, what you like, get your studies done, get your PR done, save some money, don't spend it all. You know, I'm a big believer. I see young kids and they love spending the money. I'm like, leave it in the bank and let's just save, because then if an opportunity comes, you'll be able to act on it because you've got the money.
Got it.
And then, yeah, work out if you want to do jobs, you know, start family and really be part of the Australian dream.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does Gary do apart from properties?
Ooh, spend time with family. I've got a 3-year-old son. Go for some holidays.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've recently sort of gotten into racing cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so you race cars?
Yes.
How did you get into it and what are you doing with that?
From young,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I was always into cars. Like
Okay.
I taught myself how to drive a car when I was, I think, 12.
Yeah, not recommended.
No, not recommended. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I've just always loved cars.
Yeah.
And in recent times, you know, I've had the opportunity to buy a race car from a friend.
That is so cool.
And so yeah, we sort of, you know, doing some rounds and trying to get comfortable and doing a bit of racing. Yeah.
Oh man, I would love to receive an invite the next time you're racing or
No worries, I'll put
yeah.
you on the list.
This is really cool.
Yeah, no, it is a lot of fun.
I hope it's not a very long list.
No, you'll get there. That's okay.
And the last question. Now you know me a little. Very recently started a business. Fortunately, growing well. Just a few employees that we have as well. Team's great. What would be your advice for me?
Just keep growing the business. Network as much as you can to really try and, you know, work out what your niche market is, what your clientele is. And then I really think, you know, you can, if you've got good employees,
Yeah.
you can really grow the business. Yeah, then once you've grown to a level you're comfortable with, you don't have to be the biggest in everything you do, because, you know, biggest doesn't mean the most profit.
Right.
So, you know, you get to a level where you're comfortable
Yeah.
and you know, the business is making good money. Got to always look after staff. You know, I'm big on looking after staff, because the staff make your business. If you care for them, they will care for your customers. Yeah. And then yeah, work out if you want to, you know, maybe do another business. Maybe you want to do some investments.
Or race cars.
Or race cars, or invest in share market, or do the flipping of houses. You know, it's every segment you can make money.
Yeah.
You just need to be good at. If you're good at it, like race drivers, okay, I don't make any money, but I don't get paid racing. But there is race drivers who make a lot of money because they are great at what they do.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I loved this conversation. There was so much to learn for me. If people who want to either build their house or buy a house, you guys have ready-made houses as well that people can reach out to and buy a house. What we have done is that we have mentioned a link in the description, and in case if you are somebody who wants to be involved with the finance side of business, let's say you want to be a developer and then reach out to the finance side of business, or somebody who wants to buy their first house in South Australia or develop their first house, then please fill up that form. We'll get you in touch with Gary and his team and take it from there. And thank you so much for doing this and giving us amazing insight.
No, thank you. Thank you, Dave. Great chat.
Awesome.